Welcome everyone to On the Map, where the Life Choices team takes time out of their day to recap the trip that they've taken.
The City of Angels, the Best Coast, the
Golden Coast,
Los Angeles, California, is what we're chatting about today on the Map with Life Choices. We want to hit some highlights of visiting this beautiful location, places to eat, places to go, things to do. I'm Brooks, here with Shelby today. And to start out with, I just want to cover some things to keep in mind when you are considering traveling to Los Angeles, California. Depending on where you're traveling from, be mindful that, again, similar to if you watched our video about traveling to Hawaii, give yourself time to enjoy the trip. It can be a really long flight. For us, we were traveling from Florida. We wanted to make sure that we had enough time to enjoy this location. So that is always going to be something that we'll highlight. Pay attention to where you're traveling from. Give yourself enough time to enjoy the location you're traveling to. Another big thing that I will touch on is Los Angeles is known for its crazy traffic. So when you're there, in order to, again, make the most out of your time and not be stuck in rush hour traffic, you might want to start your day earlier or spend it out later than you typically would if you lived in a location. Just be mindful that if you are doing a couple different spots in one day, you avoid missing the beautiful sunset because you're stuck in bumper to bumper traffic.
Yep. Yeah, that's a huge one. That's a huge one. I mean, it's just like any other advice that we're going to give you. Admittedly, I would say that LA, we don't have like a ton of like very specific advice to give because it's in the continental US and it's a big city. So kind of with that in mind, plan your trip. But as always, just good to do research ahead of time. As far as where to go to eat and drink, we have 3 very specific, experienced by the entire Life Choices crew recommendations. And you're in luck with the whole traffic thing. 2 of them are right next to each other. On our first big day in LA, we went to a breakfast joint called Met
Her at a bar.
No, I think it's him. I think the breakfast one is him.
No, we had an argument about this before. Because you were like, I got the hat, it says met him at a bar. The hat says met her at a bar.
Okay, so whatever it is, we'll put the text in the bottom of the video, but the breakfast place is on like this side of the block and it's either met him or her at a bar, I don't remember. And then on the other side of the block is the Italian place that we went for dinner, and that is met him or her at a bar, I don't know. They sit right next to each other. Their ownership, the owners are married. It's a really cute story. You can read more about it on our blog, but we highly recommend the service, the food, the atmosphere, the drinks. It was all very lovely. If you can make your way over to that side of town, we really highly recommend.
Yeah, absolutely. That recommendation came from our Airbnb host, actually. Listed it in locations to go. So we wanted to pop out for a hearty breakfast brunch to start our day and stumbled across these 2 spots, a really special story, an Italian husband and Thai wife team together. Really amazing fusion, delicious food,
so
really special atmosphere. Highly recommend Met Him at a Bar as well as Met Her at a Bar. Another spot that we visited that we would highly recommend stopping by, particularly for lunch or happy hour, is going to be King and Queen Cantina. This was a really fun Mexican joint that we stopped in. We were over hungry for a late lunch and stopped in happy hour time, got some drinks. They had a really good menu for happy hour as well as just their full menu is awesome. There's some really tasty bites on there. And again, the atmosphere is really, it was really fun for us. Nice loud music, kind of what you would expect from a kind of Mexican joint. We loved that spot, so highly recommend that spot for food as well.
And then of course, the third thing we want to talk about with you today is, you know, where to go, what to see, where those photo spots are. So I'm just going to talk about my favorite first. We did lots of stuff when we were in LA, but one of my favorites was actually cruising up to Malibu. It was just really beautiful, and it was really interesting to see all the homes as we drove through there. There's two houses actually that have become a little bit of like online famous. It's that like one of those tall and skinny, there are two of them right next to each other, all black, and then one that's like pink and purple. That's a fun shot to get with a friend, or honestly to or just grab a picture of the buildings by themselves. That was pretty cool. Malibu was really beautiful. It was really chill. It was actually kind of cold the day that we went, but it was so beautiful. I mean, you really can't beat that area. Obviously, we came up to Malibu from Santa Monica. I'll let Brooks talk about that, but that's also a great spot.
Yeah, absolutely. Santa Monica Pier is definitely worth a stop. It can be a little bit touristy, so I'm gonna talk about another spot right after this that is something that you may not want to dedicate a ton of your time to. I feel like that is true of Santa Monica Pier. You might just want to walk out there, take a look around, snap some pictures, and move on with your day because there is so much to explore. The other location that I'll note is, of course, the Hollywood sign. There are lots of different ways to do the Hollywood sign. You can wake up at 5 a.m. and actually do this amazing hike that leads you up behind the sign, or you can knock it out in 15 minutes if you're strategic about the neighborhoods you drive through and the spot you stop at, and you can get that, iconic sign in the background. To be honest, what I would recommend, as I know our team has done it a couple different ways, hop on Google, see what other people have done, and decide if you want to allocate a good amount of time or if you want to keep it brief. But the Hollywood sign, of course, is a worthwhile thing to see and snap a picture or two in front of. But it's just worth noting that you do not have to allocate 4 hours to do this. You can absolutely pop up and get it knocked out in 20 minutes.
Which is awesome, and we love those kinds of tips. So obviously, Hollywood. So obviously LA is a huge city and there's a ton to see, a ton to eat, a ton to do. If you want more recommendations, please feel free to reach out, comment in the video below. And we are so excited for you to visit the City of Angels. We'll see you next time
On the Map with Life Choices. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.